yesterday. I was watching every single one of your TV hits and just saying, please get that lady in front of me so I can talk to her. Because you made the point that I repeated tonight. The single question that these justices are now going to debate is an absurd one. You just saw Gerald Ford. The idea that there's even a question of whether overthrowing the government is an official act of the president. I'm going to let you talk.
Well, I think that that's right, Joy, that it is an absurd question, and it's particularly absurd the way that the justices have framed it in their order yesterday. When the Supreme Court hears a case, they define the issues before them in something called a question or questions presented. Some cases have multiple questions, but this case only has one. And the way that it's framed is somewhat telling because it says, whether and if so, to what extent a former president enjoys immunity from criminal prosecution for conduct alleged to involve his official acts. And, you know, yesterday I was really troubled by the alleged, but having talked about this last night with Christy Greenberg, who's a former federal prosecutor, she pointed out to me that the whether and if so to what extent should also trouble us to some degree because both Tanya Chutkan and the D.C. Circuit found that there is no immunity for a former president for official acts, full stop. Now the Supreme Court, in the way that they frame the question, seems to be suggesting that they want to parse that a little bit, that they want to carve out some form of official immunity, and more so that they want to allow perhaps the former president to define what is and is not official acts rather than allow the Department of Justice to determine what that is based on the allegations of the indictment. So you're right. I think this is somewhat farcical. I'm not sure why the court is taking this case, if not to at least partially reverse the D.C. Circuit and make it all the more difficult for Tanya Chutkan or anybody else other than Juan Merchan here in New York State to try any of the criminal cases involving former President Trump before this election.
They're trying to